In the lap of nature, a mini resort and client's villa. All of us in the cities have a dream to own a house in the mountains, near a beautiful river, possibly in the valley, and to support us commercially in the coming years, a small resort that we can run. This project was on the similar lines. This is an 8-room property and a 4-room client's villa. To build in accordance with the flora and fauna existing on the site and respecting the contour lines was the main requirement of the client. We have retained all the trees on the periphery of the site and also built in accordance to the contours. We had 4 contour lines running parallel to the site, each a meter in height. This is the main entry to the resort. Once we enter inside, on our right side are bougainvillea creepers. On the left side is the universal accessibility of the entire resort. In the center is the main entrance. This main entrance takes us into a lounge kind of an area where you can sit down, have a coffee, maybe a meal. This is based on the central axis of the entire site. The central axis then takes us to the deck. This deck overlooks the Ram Ganga River. The river runs parallel to the site. We'll be able to see panoramic views of the entire site and bridges connecting to each and every room. The 4 villas have been placed in accordance to the sunrise and the sunset points. Now, from the central axis, we'll be moving into one of the interiors of the room. As soon as you open the main door, you'll be able to see the entire view of the mountains in front and a bay window with a view on the right. The open concept has been carried forward inside the washroom as well, wherein the nature is seeping through inside the washroom. The balcony, along with the sitter, allow for panoramic views of the valley and the mountains around. Now we'll be moving from the central axis to the public sphere downstairs. Earth air cooling has been used to naturally reduce the interior temperatures of the building. In this method, the outside air is taken inside the earth near the water level and the temperature of the air reduces by 5 to 6 degrees, keeping the interiors of the room cooler. The public sphere comprises of 3 main areas. The first being the fireplace, where you can spend cozy evenings near the river valley. The central performance area allows to interact with the group and also indulge in leisure time activities. A small pool that makes you feel as if you're almost going into the river, giving an almost infinity feel to it, without actually being an infinity pool. The steps at the bottom here allow for some secluded alone time in the valley. Lastly comes an Instagrammable selfie spot, an installation of sorts which allows to look the space look much bigger by just a simple circular mirror. From the public sphere, we'll now be moving towards the ground floor. As soon as you open the main door, you'll be able to see the entire view of the mountains in front and a bay window with a view on the right. The open concept has been carried forward inside the washroom as well, wherein the nature is seeping through inside the washroom. The ground floor has an additional garden and a small jacuzzi pool with a view of the valley. To give you an overview of the site, We've managed to create 4 rooms on top, connected to each other through bridges, and 4 rooms with gardens on the bottom. An 8 room small property which allows for an holistic experience in the valley. Alongside this is also the client's residence. Now we'll be entering into that. The client's residence posed interesting challenges because of being of an irregular shape. The car being parked outside is a small walkway with a garden on the left side, which has a small aquarium pool to enjoy the winter mornings. Entering into the dining room with gardens on both sides, and finally your living room. On the left side is the kitchen along with the kitchen garden. This is the additional living room, which allows for informal formal meetings to happen with a view of the valley. All the 4 bedrooms, 2 on the ground floor, 2 on the top floor, have unobstructed views of the valley. The 2 washrooms on the ground floor have an open shower area. Moving from the dining room to the backyard has a small kitchen garden as well. Now moving to the first floor, taking the staircase connected from the dining room, we see a large deck. This deck has the best view of the entire site and allows for a slight visual connect with the resort as well. Lastly, entering into the 2 bedrooms on the first floor, the natural tones of mud plaster walls allow and blend with the nature around.